Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
On the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and I'm telling you, 15 minutes up the road from my house here in Mechanicsburg, PA, and it is time to play in the clay for a little hometown heroes action, presented to you by none other than Flatline Racing Bodies. Flatline Racing Bodies, they've been pivotal here with this league. I mean, they've sponsored so many years. Don't know what we would do without the boys over there at Flatline Racing Bodies. You can see there, Mechanicsburg, PA, Williams Grove. This is, it's tricky. You know, it's one of those tracks that's definitely, I'm not afraid to admit it, maybe more of a, by name kind of track here. It doesn't put on the best racing. I think fans would be honest with you here. Pennsylvania, I mean, kind of can turn into a train. You may see that here tonight, but it's when the guy in front of you makes a little boo-boo, little hiccup, you got to be there to pounce. You got to be close enough to do that. Right here, we're watching one of the guys who, if he's not up front, he's going to be pressured. He's going to be trying to force you to make a mistake. That's, of course, Joseph Brandy in this 518. Got pretty low going in the 3. Let's see if he does it again. No, he's going to enter in a little higher this time. Let's see. Any of these drivers flirt with it next to that inside wall. The one who will eventually be the 20 of Blake Chapman. He's not out on the racetrack right now. See his putt-putt out there. Putt-putt hasn't even flipped into lap. He's not going to be out on the racetrack for us. Trying to find a bottom feeder here, man. Terry Landis, this guy used to feed the bottom, not so much anymore. He's a little lower. He's found a lot of speed, especially in the sprint cars, pushing up towards that outside. So let me know if you're out there watching. I see Tyler, Jason out there. Let me know. I can tell if you haven't been to Williams Grove in a while, and I'm looking over at my audio. Cars are ever too loud. Let me know. I can adjust my desktop a little bit. It's been a while since we've been to the Grove. We're watching Terry Landis work on Brian Moore Sr. This is a little practice. I mean, a little showcase of what we could get later. You're going to see guys trying to cut underneath after a slide job, trying to work it back to the very stuff at the bottom. So Brian's going to get that big run off the top step. Just a Wednesday night. Oh, he's going to go on by as Terry Landis gets that inside wall. The quickest man of practice is the driver of the 31, Brandon Temple. See Temp roll the outside here through 3 and 4. It's Ty Dickinson. It is entering turn 1. Haven't seen Ty's with yet this season. He's driving the 67 FND awareness machine. It's pretty good there for Ty. One of the guys kind of rolling that inside. Let's see here. So he is going to try to run that middle. And, you know, it's real easy for me to sit up here and say this, but I'd want to think in the dream world he probably wants to blow the thing. There we go. A little more keep this left side tires out of that slick. Probably wants to do it here in 1 and you know, not a lot there, so he's entering in a little higher than he would probably like to. I mean, you got to take what the racetrack's giving you. You can see Brian Lawson entering probably a little higher than he'd like to. You don't want to go down there and get into that inside wall. Joseph Grandy, maybe you do, because it's 6:59 and you're getting ready to go qualify. Let's see here. Do we have anybody else in the other room out on the racetrack? We do not. Sal's in this room. Let's go back over to Bob. Nope, Bob was in that other room, so we're probably getting a driver's meeting here. Getting ready to go party. Oh, Jason, what have you been racing this year in real life, man? I just saw that message here. I'm trying to organize everything. If I'm being truthful, I got the messages up on my phone, so I kind of have to glance down at that. Let's see. Can we get a decent view of the bridge here? The bridge that is no longer. We have a new bridge here now. Not blue anymore. It's black. It's a little more fat people friendly, for people like myself. You know, I mean, sometimes you get 2 people like me going across that bridge. One of them's got to turn sideways. You know what I mean? On this original blue bridge. Well, they decided, never mind. You know, I mean, that bridge, okay, look, on iRacing looks a little wider. You see those steps from this view, okay? It wasn't that wide, I'm telling you. Rickety, junk. Deserved a new one. Glad we got one. Never even noticed. Yeah, Brian Lawson does have a new number. He was number 9. What am I doing, Butters? You're doing my dang job for me, man. Making me look bad. Lawson in that 57. Should slap a little 3 in front of that. We'll call him the Magna. You know, if you put a little 3 in front of that, the 357. We'll see. That's just my take. Let's see who's out on the racetrack first. No surprise. Who is it always on Wednesday nights? You get one guess and one guess only. He drives the 31. Brandon Templeton. He doesn't mess around. Always out on the racetrack first. Let's see what the 31's got here as we roll around this time. Track bank 31 rolling down the backstretch under the bridge here. Had a decent 1 and 2. Go to that far bottom through 3 and 4. But you see Dean Reynolds purple sector 1. Now Grandy purple. I mean, Grandy purple. Welcome to Quick Time, son. The 5:18 at the top of the charts with a 21 flat. Give it to Joseph Grandy by a 10.5 over the 91 of Chad Lackey as Grandy rolls the top 3 and 4. Can he improve his final lap here as he comes across the stripe? Purple through sector 2. He is going to improve a 20.99. Give him 0.03 of a second improvement there. Heck of a lap for $100 grand, Joseph Grandy. As Sam Bachman rolling around here right now. He's P3, was P3, but GJ Boydell in the 014. He slots himself inside the top 3 as Bachman comes around. Can he improve? He does. He's going to move up to P2. Let's see what the 014 to GJ Boydell has. Final time down the front stretch. He's not going to improve. Yellow. Still a great qualifying effort for the 014 of GJ Boydell. We got Putt. He comes across. That's a pretty good lap there for Putt, who normally likes to run around, 40-second qualifying laps. Coming home P7. That's going to be good there for the 051. He'll probably take that. So let's go ahead and bring up the starting grid here. Heat race number 1. 8 drivers. Everyone's making the show here tonight. We got pretty close to that 24-car grid, but just under it, I believe. So everyone making the show here. The winner of heat race number 1 will start on the pole. Let's wait at the backstretch. Row 4 to the outside, the mare in the 75, Steve Bixler, to the inside, the 055 of Miss. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 518 of $100 grand, Joseph Grandy, to the inside, the 014 of GJ Boydell. Row 1 for heat race number 1, starting on the high side, the 051 of Putt, Clay Christopherson, and starting on the pole, the 218 of Superman, Kurt Schatzer. And Superman, long time no see. Superman, when he shows, he shows. He is a good driver. But, life happens. Superman can't be here every week. But I'm telling you, Kurt, starting on the front row, inside, going to be tough to deal with here. Clay, going to have to be smart about this as well, because you got $100 grand right in your pocket behind you, and you got a surprisingly quick qualifier in the 014 of GJ Boydell to the inside. So you got to be smart here. You don't want to get stuck on that high side. I know Putt doesn't. He likes to roll on that inside. Got to play the cards you're dealt, though, as we get ready to go play in the clay here. Should be a 6-lap shootout here. Heat race number 1. Steve King Foundation pace car is off. The green flag is high. Boy, is she ready to fly. 6 laps to play in the clay in Mechanicsburg, PA. Your 358 features underway. Superman, not as good of a jump there as he would have liked. And Clay Christopherson able to shut the door as we watch him go down the backstretch. Front 4 kind of single out, side by side for 5th. Is Ty Dickinson now side by side for 4th. Tries to get to the outside of the Ironman. GJ Boydell, can he get to the door? He does. Going to clear him at the line. Ty Dickinson moves up into the top 4 as the battle's starting to heat up for P2. Joseph Grandy trying to take that money on the inside. Can 518 find a way around the Cape wearing 218 of Superman, Kurt Schatzer? 4 laps to go this time by. Grandy tries to send it in deep, just can't find the grip coming off, and Clay maintains his lead. But for how long here as he drives it in? Gonna look to the bottom, thinking about protecting Grandy. Gonna diamond off here, trying to get a big boy run. Cross flags in the air, halfway, 3 to play. Steven Bixler started 8th, navigated his way up to 6th. Can the Mare get one more as he's looking low here on the 014? GJ shuts the door, and the Mare gonna have to try to find some more votes here. Get to the inside, get that thing up into the top 4, but we're running out of time. 2 laps to go here as Clay Christopherson really starting to feel the heat as here comes Joseph Grandy. Grandy thinking about peeking to the inside here. What do we got coming off of 4? Grandy to the inside, door to door. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go, half a mile. Gonna decide us between, is it Grandy, Christopherson, or can Kurt Schatzer somehow get this? Maybe the front 2 get together as we go into 3 for the final time. Putt-putt protects the bottom. Grandy with a run off 4. He can't get there. Clay Christopherson wins heat race number 1, followed by Joseph Grandy, Kurt Schatzer, Ty Dickinson, G.J. Boydell, Steve Bixler, Joe Mossow, and Brian Moore Sr. As we take a look at the starting grid here, heat race number 2, rounding out the field in the 006. To the inside of row 4, Mike, the Doc, Watson. Row 3 to the top shelf, the 23 of Bart William Watson. To the inside, the 57 of Brian Lawson. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 007 of the Sam Akonda, Sam Bachman. To the inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row 1 for heat race number 2. Winner starts on the outside of the front row for tonight's feature. To the outside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. And starting on the pole, the 20. Get your popcorn ready as the preacher's lining up. His popcorn the way he does, but can't do it anymore. I mean, the kid, he's gonna be a preacher, man. So that's we got to live up to that nickname. I can't. As we'll roll around one more time, the boys knew I'd need a little bit of time to work out the kinks here. Anthony Morano looking to take a page out of his teammates' playbook here. Use that run out of turn 2 and just shut the door, man. Never look back. It's not going to be... Thank you for telling me that, Ty. So that means I have... my input gain up a little too loud, and thank you for that. That is kind of what I was talking about. So you turn this down as the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. We've got 6 laps to play. Anthony Morano with a good jump there going into 1. Blake tries to slide up, shut the door. He gets Anthony off the tracks enough that he can slot that 20-min line. And Blake Chapman now trying to get to the outside to protect, but here comes Anthony Morano on the inside as we cross the stripe here. Close lap number 1. Blake Chapman's got it, but for how long? Anthony Morano ripped into the inside. As Anthony has an advantage as we enter 3. Can he slide up, crossover in front of the 20? Let's take a little closer look. Anthony completes the pass with 4 laps to go, and now he's got 2 teammates of Anthony's behind him. Blake got to play some defense here as Sammy Bachman looks to the inside in that 007, and meanwhile the 23 thought about making it 3 wide. Couldn't get it to stick. Here comes William Watson. Bart ready to party. Blake trying to drive it in here as you could put the top 4 under a blanket here. We're entering 3 and we're running out of time. Only a mile left to go here in Mechanicsburg as we've got 2 laps, 2 fingers in the air. William Watson moves on up to P3, takes a shot on the bottom. Now Bachman going to try to get that spot back. He gets a run off the top shelf. They've got to play nice. I mentioned FTM stickers on those machines, so you don't want to wad yourself and your teammate up in a heat race here as we're coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go. Anthony Morano just looking to be safe here. Blake Chapman, he's got to play some defense. He drives it in deep on the bottom, slides up in front of the 007. Sam Bachman, he's got 1 last shot to do this thing. Enters 3, almost gets into the inside wall, slides up, maybe a little contact there with the 20. As we come across the line, give it to Anthony Morano. Sam Bachman P2, Blake Chapman 3rd, and William Watson comes home 4th. Bob the Good 5th, Lawson 6th, and and Mike the Doc Watson P7. Hopefully that was a little better, Ty. I tried to do a quick fix. I turned myself down a little bit. But we'll see as we roll up the starting grid here. Heat race number 3, I believe. I may have, this may be 4. You know, you all know about my hobby. Row 4 to the inside, the Desert Demon, who shares that hobby in the 161. Terry Landis, row 3 to the top shelf, the 143 of Scott Zeneker. To the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Parker. Row 2 to the outside, the 91 of Chad Lackey. To the inside, the 79 of Dino D. Reynolds. Row 1 for your heat race number 3 to the top shelf, the 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton. And starting on the pole, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. Yeah, and if it happens when I'm doing lineups, it's definitely because I'm yelling. My neighbors probably hate me. You know, it is a. I don't live in like a duplex or anything after the cul-de-sac, but I guarantee you, neighbors can hear me when I'm yelling, and they probably hate me, but get over it. Get ready to go. A fixture in. Gonna try to panic fix my end. Kelly Wheeler gets set to lead the field to the green flag. Brandon Templeton. I don't know if that's the guy you want on the outside of you, man. Yeah, one of the cleanest guys to have to the outside of you. But boy, oh boy, it is not going to be easy to hold him off. Let's see what the 110 of Kelly Wheeler can do. As we roll through 3 and 4, the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. We've got 6 laps to play in the clay at the Williamsburg Speedway. Kelly Wheeler, can he slide up in front of that 31? The answer is yes. Does he want to? Yes, he does want to. Brandon Templeton, he's going to slot that car in line for a side-by-side battle. It's the 91 of Chad Lackey and Dino to the inside. What can the 79 of Dino do? He gets it at the line, cuts down a little early, has to straighten it up. That's a good save there by the purple people leader of the Dino. Oh, a little contact there with B-Temp. Gets into the left rear. Lackey gets into the backstretch wall, that little opening. That allows, I believe, excuse me, that was Scott Zeneker who got in the wall. I thought that was Lackey. May have been, I'm not sure. They all look the same to me. Contact there between the 79 and the 31 once again. Dino got a lift out. Dino going to lose a spot this time as the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Parker, gets around, and now Brandon Templeton battle for the lead at the cross flags. Oh, give it to the 110, but not by much. Brandon Templeton trying to get that 31 to eat. Here comes the 79 up top, and boy, does he look hungry. Can he wind that thing up and get it to go? Let's go up top here as we come to 2 to go. Dean Reynolds fighting as we come to the line. Give it to the 79. He's going high, wide, and handsome, the 79, the long way around here. in Mechanicsburg. He almost put it out to 15. Got to be careful driving up that high in 1 and 2. As we roll through 3 and 4, white flag set the wave. 1 lap to play. Brandon Wheeler, he can see the guns, or he can hear the guns firing off behind. That may have rattled him. Brandon Templeton to the inside, side by side through 3 and 4. Brandon checks up, tries to get a drive off. Not going to be enough. Is Kelly Wheeler. Storms like a bat out of hell. He wins heat race number 3, followed by Dean Reynolds, Jeff Barker, and Brandon Templeton, who lost 2 spots through 4. Coming on 4th, Chad Lackey, Scott Seneker, and Terry Landis. Yeah, see, I'm so embarrassed. Come on, that was shaggy math there. Of course that was 3 heat races. I need an 8, 7, and a 7. Come on, man. Even I can handle that math. Stick around. We'll be right back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network with a little Flatline Racing Bodies feature action here at the Grove. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. About that time here, Superman at the top of the charts, Randy Bachman, Lawson Chapman, your top 5. Here as we get ready to go play. Should be 25 laps, maybe 30. I think these are 25. I'm going to cheat though, real quick. And then I'll make this grid pop away. And then I'll do the starting grid. 25. Pretty sure, you know, just got to double check on these things. Make sure it looks good as we take a look at the starting grid, rounding out the field. Mr. Wednesday Night on the top shelf for row 11 in the 055. Brian Moore Sr. to the inside, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Row 10 to the top shelf, the 006 of the Doc, Mike Watson to the inside, the Moose, the 28, Joe Mossett. Row 9 to the outside, the 143 of Scott Zeneker to the inside, the 57 of Brian Lawson. Row 8 to the top shelf, the Mayor, Steve Bixler to the 7 of Ty Dickinson. To the inside, the 530. Blake Chapman to the inside, the 218 of Superman Kirk Jackson. Row 3 to the outside, the 79 of Dino Dean Reynolds to the inside, the 007 of the Sam Akonda Sam Bach. Row 2 to the outside, the 518 of 100 grand Joseph Brandy to the inside, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. Row number 1 for your Flatline Racing Body Small Block Modified feature at the Williams Grove Speedway. To the outside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, and starting on the pole, the 051 of Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson. An FTM front row. Let's see how it goes here in Mechanicsburg, PA, as the Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off, and we get set to go 25 laps as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Your 358 modified feature is underway. Good jump there on the bottom for the 51 of Clay Christopherson. Does he slide up, maybe close the curtain there on his teammate? He does, going down the backstretch. Battle over for the lead, but the war still rages back here in the pack. Dino to the outside of the 007, Sam Akonda. What can Bachman do? As the yellow flag waves, we got a big one here in 3 and 4. Not too sure where this kicked off, but I can tell you, lots and lots of red on my SDK, and well, that's probably not good for the field here. We'll slow it down, so it does kick off up there in front. You can kind of see him checking up Dickinson. He lifts Templeton, then he gets in the left rear of him a little bit, checking up. Bixler just coming in hot. He gets into the side of the 7. That forces Templeton around. He even gets involved. The 57 of Lawson, he sneaks on through. Clean as a whistle. Same with that 006 Landis having to yank that machine around. And Mr. Wednesday Night coming to a complete stop. So that's what can happen here at Williams Grove. Let's show you here the 57. We're going to go on board. We'll do this full speed. I mean, not really anywhere to go. This is the view he has. See, it happens there, just nowhere to go. I mean, the seas parted. Might as well call him Moses here tonight. The way he just split those cars, sent one up top, sent the other one to the bottom. I mean, big time move there for Lawson. You know, luck had nothing to do with that. That was all controlled, of course, by Brown with Austin. Lights should go off here on the pace car this time. They do. We got our static camera. Okay, I didn't label that right. I was wondering. Just saved his dashes on my cameras. Here we go. Nice little view of the half miler. Watch that pace car pull in. See him pulling in there, and we're going to get back and ready to play here. Should be 22 laps to go when we drop the hammer. Putt with a good jump once again, able to clear up in front of Anthony Morano. Anthony thought about cutting up underneath, but now he's going to get a little bump. Kelly Wheeler and the gang. Oh, man. Mayhem here at Williams Grove. No caution flag as of yet. Sam Bachman sitting there trying to get one. It ain't coming, brother. We're going to keep on rolling for some reason. We get to the line. The caution flag now deserves. Decides to fly. We're wrecking again in 3 and 4. Let's figure out what happened here. So this was after. You can see Zeneker. He's going to get into the back of the 218 of Kurt Schatzer, but you can see that left front stuck inside the ground. He probably had left front damage that he did not know about. And that thing just torpedoed up the racetrack. And then Kelly Wheeler once again is involved here. Let me see if I can go back and try to find the original mess. Now you could see Kelly Wheeler there in the 110. Let's go over top. Just tries to drive it in a little too deep. I mean, gets in the side of the 518. Anthony Morano somehow hangs on to that. I mean, Kelly got off of him after, gave him a chance, but now Bachman, he had nowhere to go. He gets sent to the inside, bumped in the back one more time. That's what pins him down. More contact there with Jeff Barker. So a lot happening. Kind of, tried to warn you a little bit. I love this place. Right up the road. I've said many times here tonight, but man, you get on iRacing. Sometimes this place can be nasty. Everybody's fighting for the same spot. Some guys using the brakes. I would say the majority of guys on the bottom using the brakes. The ones that aren't probably overdriving it a little bit on entry. But what do I know? Not a whole lot. Ask my wife. That's going to be the trouble spot here. I mean, guys just having different lifting points / braking points for corner entry, and it's going to make it nasty here. So we're going to have to whittle down the pack a little bit. Guys realizing, hey, I can't drive in this hard. Got to settle down a little bit. That'll be the big difference maker. Is I see Megan out there. What's going on, Megan? Get that 79 up front. He's on the outside of row 2. He's got plenty of time, though, here. You just got to tell the gang to keep it green. We'll see if Dino can't get up to the front as we're back underway. Putt with a good restart once again. And Joseph Brandy trying to take advantage here. The 518 looking low. Dino looking high, singing a tune. Oh, he's going to get to the outside wall. Dino, hold on, and that 79 going to go right back to rim ride. Can he get to the outside of Anthony Knott? That is being come back to the field. We are 3 wide. Bob the Good sandwiched in the middle here. He's the peanut butter and the jelly right now. Tempo on the inside, banging. They're trying to work on by Chad Lackey now. He's got to get on the binder. He gets the door slammed in his face. We're back to 3 wide. Temp underneath. He gets into the side of the 7. We're almost 4 wide. Bob the Good not giving Temp any room here. Going to run him down going down the straightaway. Oh my God, guns blazing here in Mechanicsburg, PA. Back towards the front. Here comes Dino. The 79 trying to find a way on by. Let's see what he can do. He got that perfect machine trying to eat through 1 and 2. Can he maybe take a peek on the inside here into 3? Takes a little sneak peek there. Not willing to go low, but look who is willing to go low. The Preacher, Blake Chad. What can he do? And he's using the bottom like he loves to, man. That's going to be scary for everyone else. We still got a lot of play time left here. And the fact that Blake Chapman's already in the top 5. Oh, good night. Dino looking to the outside here as the front 2 starting to peel off a little bit. Anthony Morano finally clicking in some laps, and Clay Christopherson able to do the same here. Trying to work that gap. For the challenge, he's going to reel him back in. Last time by, Dino for the 21.44, fastest lap of the race. Here comes Dean Reynolds. Oh, we're beating and banging. We're back straight. What's happening here? We're we're back around as that Zeneker on the inside. It is caution flag raised. And boy, we saw the 7 in the 31 involved. Let's see, that wasn't Zeneker there. So it's going to start here with Chad Lackey and Brandon Templeton. Let's see if we can get an overview. That was a terrible view. So Brandon, he just gets a good run in, but I mean the 91's there. Yeah, 8 wheels turn better than 4 though, and I mean now we got. See, that's tough math. I mean 4 times 3. We're going to say 12 wheels there. But Lawson, he made it on through. 91 and the 31, not so much. Lackey going to pull to the inside here. Trying to lick the claws, and hence the reason for the caution. Cannot blame him for that. Wanted to clear Zeneker. I said originally that was Scott Zeneker. They're both running that black and green car. So, you know, easy to get blamed for another guy. Have an identical looking car. That actually happened to me. Man, back in probably 2005, my first year of racing, I had a parent come down cursing me out as a 13-year-old. My dad pulled out the videotape, showed them, because, well, back then, my dad would film my races for me. Showed them, hey, you got the wrong black car, man. You got the wrong guy. And, well, he apologized, and, man, probably felt like a huge idiot for cursing out a 13-year-old kid, but that's racing for you, right? We're used up all them cautions, so we're going to have single file restarts here. As the lights are off on the pace car, we should be going back playing this time by. My apologies if you do pick up my dog barking in the background. My neighbor's mowing, and man, my dog does not like that mower. As the green flag's high, it's about ready to fly. Anthony Morano leads us back to the green flag. It's go time. 15 laps to go. Got anything, you got to use it now. No reason to save it here. You know, we're probably going to have another caution or two. Caution, green caution. Here comes Sam Bachman trying to rip to the outside, get his way back to the field. He was one of the guys involved in an earlier caution, spun around on the inside. He's trying to work his way on back as he gets a big run. Ryan Moore Sr. blinking in and out a little bit. Not sure if Ryan's going to come back there. He did come back, and we saw that. That's not Bixler's fault. Ryan Moore Sr. lagging a little bit. Reappears back on the racetrack, and I mean that's gonna nothing to do there. And your Bixler, and let's see here, we're not gonna get a lot of help with this from SDK. So no, it's gonna freeze us here. I'm spamming the TV button. So whenever he comes back in, here we go. That's when he gets his connection back. And everyone else can see him by that point. Too late. Nothing the mayor could do. Back under caution. I believe the 4th time here at Williams Grove. No, not that there is ever a good track to lag at either, but I'm telling you, this ain't the one. This is not the one you want to lag at. Apparently, I'm hearing servers almost out of Thomas. Yeah, it is. 7 minutes and 18 seconds. What a heads-up call there, Ty. Yeah, 7 minutes, 12 seconds now as you see that timer. We're not getting all these laps. We're not. That's just the way it's going to be. So we'll have to figure out who's going to be holding the checkered flag here come the end. It's going to be tough here. Might get it in if we stay green. As the Ant-Man gets ready to drop the hammer, we're back underway here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Everybody playing nice so far coming across the line. Let's see, are they playing nice under the bridge? No, they aren't. Look at them beat. Murano coming off that top shelf through 4, and he is singing Christmas carols here in June. I mean, the guy's got a hot rod. He is driving off. Joseph Grandy trying to play a little defense here, but the Preacher trying to work some magic, get to the inside. What's he gonna do? He's searching for grip downstairs. He's down on one knee here, trying to look for answers. The Preacher can't find nothing through 3 and 4. Have to work, gonna have to go back here, try to click him off. But here comes Sam Bachman. This man is on a mission. The 007 back up the P8 with not a lot of time to play. Let's double check that. 5:40. We do have time. If we stay green, we could do this, but that's a big if here, boys. Behave. Let's get along here. Oh, we're beating and banging. Lackey, a little sideways. That's Zeneker in the 143. They live to race another day here as the war still wages on for 4th. Give the Preacher P4 at the line. 9 laps to go this time. Dean Reynolds watching that little gap between him and Clay kind of evaporate. He's reeling back in the 051. But out front, Anthony Murano absolutely gone. And you're going to need a rangefinder to see how far up the road the Ant-Man is as these two just get the battle. And Dino going to have to make quick work of this if he wants to get up there and try to get after the 32, but Putt not going to make it easy on him. And meanwhile, here comes 100 grand. He gets back around P4. He gets to the top shelf of the salesman. Blake Relentless going to stay down there, even though it's maybe not working, especially through 3 and 4. Kid not going to give up, going to keep plugging away. And speaking of plugging away, Sam Bachman up into your top 7, the 00727. Can he find a way by that 23 of William Watson, his teammate? Terry Landis. He looked to be a little off the pace on the inside through 4, but he's all good. Thought maybe he clipped that wall. All's fine and dandy here as we roll the top through 3 and 4. Anthony Murano, 5 laps to go here in Mechanicsburg. Blake Chapman trying to use Grandy as a pick. Maybe get a 2-for-1 here. Grandy maybe using the best of both worlds. The Blake line through 1 and 2, top through 3 and 4, and that's where you're seeing him kind of reel in this group ahead. Now we're coming to 4 laps to go, so Anthony should be okay as long as he doesn't make a mistake. But man, 2nd through 4th, we're still taking bets here. This could be anyone. I mean, Clay looks pretty good for a top 3. So does Dino, but these two behind, they're hungry and they're coming. Roll the top through 3 and 4. 3 laps to go this time. Time for your leader, Anthony Murano. Anthony to the bottom through 1 and 2. Loving that Blake Grandy line here. And Grandy to the bottom in 1 and 2 as well. Then they all that top 3 and 4 except Blake. Blake the first guy to go down there constantly and try to make it work. 2 fingers in the air, 2 laps to go. Anthony Murano rolling the bottom here off of 1. You see, they're battling Sam Bachman trying to move one up into 6, but he can't. William with too big a run on that top shelf. Meanwhile, your leader coming to the line, white flag waves, Anthony Murano. Can he bring home your week 1 checkered flag here at Williams Grove Speedway? One of his favorite racetracks, and he is going to tell us all about it. One more time through 3 and 4. It's so close he can taste it. He sees that checkered flag. Reach up and grab it, Ant-Man. It's all yours. He's going to win week number 1 here, the 358 Modifieds for your hometown heroes. Putt P2, Dino 3rd, Grandy 4th, and Blake Chapman. Rounding out your top 5 is, let's go ahead. Let's see something here. was trying to bring up the. See something here. There we go. Well, that was a little harder than expected. See William Watson there, 6, Bachman 7, Dickinson 8, Barker 9, Boydell 8, 10. My mind is in the gutter. Lawson 11th, the Doc, Mike Watson 12th, Bob the Good 13th, Schatzer 14th, Mossow 15th, Wheeler Moore Sr., Zeneker, Lackey, and Landis. Your top 20, V-Temp and Bixler round out the field as we get ready to do a little rewind here. They put the metaphoric gun to their head here, told them, hey guys, almost out of time. Gotta behave if we want to get this thing in, and they did. And Dino was the man bringing home P3. Let's see if we can get a word with him here, as we're fishing all around. Dino, man, week 1, back on the podium in an FTM 1-2-3, brother. How we feeling? I mean, it looked like you were pretty quick there at the end. Just typical Williams Grove. Man, tough to pass. Not much else you can really say.
No, but you know what, Shaggy? It's me. Big tracks up against the wall. It's what I do. And I racing scoring. I mean, that second yellow there when I got into second, and me and Clay went by the start finish line. I'm like, yes, I'll take second here. Let's go hustle with Clay. And then they let Anthony back by, they let Grandy back by, and I'm like, oh well, I racing scoring, but it was fun. The setup was a little different. They changed the fixed setups, and it's a little bit more looser than what we normally are. And Clay, he normally doesn't go to top, but he said, I just couldn't keep the car down low. That's why I went up there. And I wasn't going to go down low, and, we weren't going to get Anthony, so we were going to fight it out, and hopefully the bottom didn't come in for Blake and Joseph, and we got home third. So first, I gotta apologize. I don't know if that was net code or what on Monday night there, Shaggy, with us in the 358s. All of a sudden, your car just darted to the right, and I didn't know if I did it or not. So my apologies on that.
It doesn't help me in slow, Dino. I'm still getting back into the swing of things. I need to figure it out. Little shot in the back, speed yourself up. Yeah, they're fun. They are fun. I'm going to try to keep plugging away at those things. But yeah, that's no hard feeling.
No, I appreciate it. But I tell you, how about this, Shaggy? 21 cars for Hometown Heroes. That's
22, man. I'm not going to short us 22.
Oh, that's right. Yes, because Bart came in late there. That's right.
Yeah.
And so that's cool. I think we got a good thing going with these big tracks, and I think we're going to have a good car count with the sprints next. And hopefully the midgets continue with good support. But I know you said you wanted to keep on doing Hometown Heroes to broadcast, and I said we're going to try to do some changes to get a full field. And we're all going to do big tracks. The only tracks you're going to see are Williams Grove, Port Royal, Knoxville, and USA. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, man, it should be good wide racing, and you know the deal with Williams Grove. It'll take us a week here. Everybody's got to learn where people are lifting. Next time we come back here, it should be a little cleaner. But, Dino, man, you got kind of screwed by iRacing a little bit here tonight. You had a chance to be up in P2, but, hey, you know how it goes, man. And to bring home a 1-2-3 for FTM, I know that's what it's all about. Hell of a run, man. Who you want to thank?
We got to thank the guys from FTM, and, proud to have a sweep. I was coming in thinking that Grandy is going to be the guy to beat, and he could have. Starting on the bottom on that restart's tough. Because it's tough to keep the car down there and everything. So he still could have been the faster guy, but restart's a part of it, and having a little bit of luck is part of it. But proud of the FTM guys. Got to thank for all their help. They keep this old guy trucking along and getting some podium finishes here and there. So I got to thank them. Flatline Racing Bodies for picking up the sponsorship for Small Blocks and 360, so you can do this. So that's really cool. So thanks to them, and thanks to you, Shaggy. We love having you doing the broadcast. As you know, we're honored to have you do Wednesday nights again, and we're gonna have a lot of fun all season. So I got to thank you guys. Thanks to Jeff Barker, Jack Hitt, Bob DeGood, Bill Calder, everyone with Coast to Coast. I'm proud to be sponsoring Thursday nights. I'm back doing help with the Coast to Coast Leagues because I like what they're doing. So I brought my sponsorship back. So we're going to help out Thursday night sponsorships with Flieger and do that too. So I got to thank them. And congrats to Clay and congrats to Tony. And then hopefully I can talk to you again in the sprint cars.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it. Hell of a run, Dino. Congrats, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Dean Reynolds bringing home P3. And now we're going to bring up the man who, well, oh so close here, Clay, but it just seemed like, man, Dino kind of ratted you out a little bit. Tough setup here tonight. Blake had a little bit of success on the bottom, I want to say, up until about that midpoint race, but it just seemed like, dude, nothing on the bottom through 3 and 4. You could maybe do it a little bit through 1 and 2, but, dude, if you couldn't clear the guy, there was just no payoff. Seemed like you kind of had to commit to the outside tonight.
Yeah, and with that setup, there was not much right front drive or left rear, and you just kind of had to throw it in there for it to stick. I wasn't very comfortable the whole night, but yeah, when Morano got by me, I just went up to his lane, and yeah, we kind of battled back and forth of I caught up and then lost and then caught up and then lost, and it just kind of stayed the same the whole race. But yeah, I normally do not like driving a car that way.
Yeah, no, I mean, you and Blake, you're two of the ones I famously always follow you in practice. Well, tonight you screwed me. You didn't go out there and do any practice, so I couldn't watch you watching the inside. But, man, this is one of those tracks that you've got to be perfect, dude. We saw people making mistakes on corner entry to 1, especially on the bottom. What's so tricky about it here?
Entry. It's misleading, especially coming into 3. You think the wall's right there. As soon as you set your car, it goes out another 15 feet. So that's that little piece that hangs out. It's a little misleading. So you have to throw your car in hard enough where you can set it in the corner and not have to turn left and right and seesaw to get the car to not hit the wall. So I think that's the trickiest part. 1 and 2, it's just how low do you want to go? A lot of left foot braking on that one.
Yeah, to me, it seems like the pit exit in 1 that'll like kind of throw some guys off. They want to crank it down a little too early, and then that wall sneaks up on them. And man, I saw so many guys yank it back up in front of people. Seemed to be a lot of trouble tonight, but not for you, Clay. You're able to come home P2. Hell of a run for you and the teammates, man. 1, 2, 3. Who you want to? Quick time! Because Anthony Morano is back in victory lane here, man. Williams Grove. I mean, you talk about it every time. One of your favorite places, man. You show that diamond line. To me, it seemed like it was tough, kind of you're in that diamond line. To me, it seemed like it was tough, kind of you're diamond in the racetrack, I guess I should say. You're running the bottom there, 1 and 2, top 3 and 4. Did that kind of seem to work out for you late? Because that looked like it was where you needed to be. That was where all the grip was.
Yeah, I think the bottom of 3 and 4 was. I did run it the very last lap. It wasn't horrible, but just didn't have the same amount of grip. And with as little of a gear we were running there, you just didn't have you weren't able to carry the speed down the straightaways as you were. But definitely the bottom 1 and 2, it was just too much of a long ways around. And this track, I don't know if it is actually egg shape or not, but it's such a difference how long the track is around the top in 1 and 2. It makes you lose just so much to a guy running the bottom, and it's not really worth running the top. So it works out for me that way. But yeah, it was definitely not a bottom side on both ends type night. So, but thankfully we found it pretty early there, and we were able to use it.
Well, hey man, congratulations! You kick off the season with a win. No better way to do it. And I mean, running big tracks this season, that's got to kind of fit you. You're able to still run that inside, but you can get to the top when you need to hammer it down and let that thing eat. And I look forward to you hopefully getting another championship this year, man. Good run here, week 1. Congrats on the win. 1, 2, 3 for the team, brother. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, that's always a big thing too. With Clay and Dino up there with me. So yeah, I gotta thank my wife Sherry, the boys at FTM, Dean Subaru, Car, Logan, on Lens, Swan Speed Shop, Shaggy TV. I think it's Flatline Auto Bodies doing the
Racing.
hometown heroes.
Close
right?
enough. Racing bodies. Close enough.
Hey, you got to take what you can get, right? DJ Simshop, Vertex Graphics, X Translation, Rocky Photography, you for doing a broadcast, Dino for doing the admin stuff here, and everyone behind the scenes at Coast to Coast.
Hey, man, hell of a run. Hopefully I'm talking to you after these 360s, man. Give them hell.
Yes, sir. I'm going to try like hell.
Anthony Morano bringing home the week 1 checkered flag here with your Flatline Racing Auto Bodies. 358 modified features. You see them rolling low and slow. Going to park to the inside for this photo. We're going to step away for a minute or two, let them reset the track. We'll be right back with a little 360 sprint car action here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Stick around.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love. It was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV, ready to bring you part 2 of your Flatline Racing Bodies hometown heroes. So, of course, Old Faithful here in the Coast to Coast Racing League, the 360 sprint cars. Always puts on some good racing action. We got 22 guys again. No shot is my dad in here. Is he actually going to do this? No, I'm interested. I'm committed to this. My apologies. Hang on. Okay, no, he's got a checkered flag beside that name. He's not going to do it. I didn't think he would. I wish he would try it. You know, he could always ask for the OL. And this is actually the perfect example. He may get mad. My dad raced in real life. He knows how to race. You're not the best dirt racer, though, on iRacing, but this is the league where you learn. And we're capped iRating League for a reason. A lot of the guys that have come in here and, you know, have since gotten really good, we're not that good. When they joined here, I wouldn't say I'm really good, but I've gotten better, and I'm included on that list. It's a great place to come and learn in a playground full of friends. And didn't struggle for much grip off of 4. That's not a bad lap for the 7 of Bob the Good, an 18.49. 10th off of Cale Bixler. Now William Watson Bart putting it on the top of the charts in that 23 machine, an 18.28. But not for long, because the Brewerton Beast, the man coming down from New York here, he parks that thing on the top spot. But Anthony Morano shatters the gang. 1/10 up the road. Now, okay, I've seen it all. Blake Chapman, 2/10 up the road, almost a 10.5 here. Well, it was 2/10 till the Dark Knight Gavin Chatham parked at P2. That's what threw my math off. Big time lap here for Blake Chapman. And the salesman does it even quicker through second. He didn't need the improvement. So he decided to slow down 1 and 2. He didn't want to show off too bad here. Let's see what GJ he's going to pull in. Kelly Wheeler out here on the racetrack. See what that 110 has quicker through sector 1. Going to rip that top through 3 and 4. Liking the cushion. Diamonds off. Going to run out of time. And that's a shame there for Kelly, because that looked like it was going to be a decent lap. So let's wait. We'll get up the starting grid here. Heat race number 1. Here wants to bring up the practice side. Let's refresh this for us. William Watson, he'll pace the field here for another lap before we get going. Pace the field here for another lap before we get going. 23 machine. Now, interesting. I don't blame him for not doing it. Why would he? Strike your stuff. You mentioned, you know, he's going off to school. This could be his last full-time iRacing season here. May not even make it the whole way through the summer, depending on when he has to leave. Talking about the 20 of the preacher now, Blake Chapman. So while he's here, you know, let's show us what you got. I mean, make this one to remember. Not that I'm, you know, wishing bad luck on everyone else. I'm just wishing really, really good luck here for the salesman in what could be his final season. Hopefully, make it a good one. Make it a memorable one. As the green flag is set to wave. 6 laps to play in the clay in Mechanicsburg, PA. Your heat race number 1 is underway. William Watson trying to slide up in front of that 55. Doesn't need to. Jumps the cushion. Putt-putt getting a toe along. He moves on up to P2. Blake Chapman. He gets shoved off the mountain here. He falls back to 5th. Now the 20. He's looking to hook up. He's got to grab another gear. Try to find a way around. That's 7, 8, 9 at Cale Bixler. Cale Bixler working his way to the inside of Brian Moore Sr. They're side by side. Coming under the bridge here. They make contact. Blake Chapman licking his lips here. Can we get a 2-for-1? Slide job, little contact. Cale's going to have to get off of it. Blake Chapman is able to get one. Can he get another one? Stay downstairs in the basement, find some moisture in the center. Loses it a little bit coming off, but should clear Brian Moore Sr. He does. Let's check out up front. Putt-putt. All alone here at Williams Grove. William Watson. About a half a second back, and it's about another half a second here to Blake Chapman, who's finally reeling in that fishing rod here as Cale Bixler and Brian Moore make contact once again. Moore up and over. He ended up on Beer Hill there. Up over 3. That's not the place to be for Brian Moore Sr. Oh, a little contact. Cale getting a little bit of help from the librarian. He was just trying to help him check out. But instead, Pat's going to be the one who checks out here. There's 1 lap to go. Clay Christopherson rolling the bottom here through 1 and 2. Doesn't need to be perfect. Just wants to be smooth here. Final time through 3 and 4. No hiccups for the 51. Low and slow. Checkered flag waves. Clay Christopherson's going to start on the pole. Tonight's Flatline Racing Bodies feature. Chapman, Pat Boyce, Jason Coffey, Cale Bixler, Brian Moore Sr., and Tim Chapman round out the field. Go ahead and pull up that starting grid. Heat race number 2, rounding out the field inside of row 4 in the 75, the Mayor, Steve Bixler. Row 3 to the outside, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. To the inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Go up to the bridge here, watch him roll under. Jealous of, you know, when they give the World of Outlaws photographer permission to go up there and start snap some pictures, because obviously they're using the bridge during the race. You know, I mean, crazy stuff can happen. You know, I've seen people close to hitting that bridge. And some flips coming out of 2, so you can bike up there and it can happen. I've never seen them actually hit the bridge that they have. I seriously doubt anyone has ever hit the bridge. Now, I would think, or I would hope. 006 Walmart on that thing. Golf Dots as well. I'd have to look that up. Man, it's sponsored by Walmart. And goddamn, excuse me. Whoop, god dang, I meant to say. You always have one little slip up. That's mine for the year. Hopefully mine for the year. My apologies for that one. You got that Walton money, man. We better the dock here. Roll this inside. See what he's got. Green flag high. Ready to fly. 6 laps to play in the clay at the Williams Grove Speedway heat race. Number 2 is underway. Oh, the dock can't give Brad any medicine here. Waiting to the outside. But here comes the Dark Knight out of the shadows. Gavin Chatham, welcome to the lead. Quick time already, man. He is not messing around in this 99 ripping the outside. The boys playing patty cake. Run the bottom, the 814. Finding grip out of 4, shuts the door going into 1. Slides up. Here comes the 7 of Bob DeGood. Trying to work to the inside of the 006. What can he do? Powered by Valvoline there. What can Bob do on the inside? Tries to work it. Slides up a little bit there through the center. But man, Mike, he gets loose off a 2. Handful for the dock. And Bob DeGood moves on up. And Gavin Chatham. All right, you're not going to believe me when I say this, so we're just going to look at it. Here comes Gavin. 2 seconds back the road is Brad Waite. And oh, there's a little bit of contact here going back. Ty Dickinson sees the white flag here. He's running 3rd. Can he get to Brad Waite? That would be your closest battle on the racetrack. But Gavin Chatham looking to start on the outside of the front row for tonight's feature. As he sees the checkered flag wave, he brings it home. He wins heat race number 2, followed by Brad Waite, Ty Dickinson, Bixler, Kelly Wheeler, Bob DeGood, and here comes the dock rounding out the field as we get ready for our 3rd and final heat race of the evening. Rounding out the field inside of row 4, we got the 57 of Brian Lawson. Row 3 to the outside, the 1-8 of Carter Forkenbrock. To the inside, the 014 of G.J. Boydell. Row 2 to the outside, the 32. Your 358 feature winner, the Ant-Man Anthony Morano. To the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row 1 for your 3rd and final heat race to the outside. The Desert Demon in the 161, Terry Landison. Starting on the pole, the 79 of Dino, Dean Reynolds. Still don't know how other SDK broadcasters. I'm gonna ask this question every day till I die while I'm broadcasting. How they get it to not double stack? I mean, you saw I made the list disappear before that heat race ended. I clicked empty. It doesn't care. When I bring it back up, it wants to remember that last heat race. It just won't forget. Oh, Dino, look at it. Whoa, behave, Dino. Man, save some women for the rest of us, Dino. Little wheelies like that, Mechanicsburg. I mean, that'll get you into Don't Road free cover charge, I bet. But you gotta behave yourself, Dino. See the boys roll down the backstretch here for the final time. Terry Landis. Told you he's been making more of a home on that outside. Let's see. I mean, this is where he come down here, watch racing all the time. He loves that Kreitz Racing team. They like ripping that inside when they need to. Let's see what the Desert Demon does here. Got Dino to the inside, Terry to the outside, green flag high. She's ready to fly. Heat race number 3 is underway. Dino with a big send through 1 and 2. Whoa, here comes the Ripper on the Lipper. Anthony Morano on that top side. Not able to find a way under that 79, but storms his way up into P2. Looking brand new is that 32, man. What a way to kick off. Wins the 358 modifieds. Shot out of a cannon here. 4th to 2nd right away as Carter Forkenbrock in the 18. Trying to reel back in these top 4 as the war's starting to close here. P2, here comes Anthony Morano. Into the inside, they're side by side. Oh, Dino thought about shutting the door. Anthony not gonna let him. He peeks open, kicks the door, side by side, give it to Dino. Oh man, weaving a little bit there as he enters one, trying to knock that 32 off his marks. Anthony playing nice side by side. Gonna do it twice here. The second time through 3 and 4. Anthony, can he make it work? This time he does. New leader, 2 laps to go. Anthony Morano out front. But Dino, chug-a-lug on the outside. Got the diesel train rolling. Half a mile to go this time by here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Anthony Morano sends it off into 1 on the low side. Dino gonna go up top. Let's see what it looks like as they come under the bridge. Dino in the wall. Dean Reynolds kisses that wall, and you gotta think that's gonna be all she wrote. Final time through 3 and 4. Anthony Morano does it again. Wins heat race number 3, followed by Dean Reynolds, Jeff Parker, Carter Forkenbrock, Terry Landis, GJ Boydell, and Brian Lawson. We're gonna step away here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We'll be right back after this short break with a 25-lap 360 sprint car feature. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Not a lot of playtime before it's go time here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Having Chatham, no surprise. Quick man here. Blake Chapman right on the tails. 99 Ken, he parked that thing in victory lane, man. Drives for FTM, but I think he'd be the first person to admit he is not your typical FTM driver. He's the one maybe helping them pave the way in the sprint car part. Not that they need any help. That's kind of where he sticks his nose into the game. Gavin, top flight sprint car driver. Keep an eye on him here. The closing laps of tonight's feature. Let's look at the starting grid, rounding out the field. The 37 of Tim Chapman to the high side. To the inside, the 57 of Brian Lawson. Row 10 to the top shelf, the 006 of the dock, Mike Watson. To the inside, the 055 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Senior. Row 9 to the outside, the Iron Man in the 014, G.J. Boydell. To the inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row 8 to the outside, the 789 of Cale Bixler. To the inside, the 161, the Judy Special, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Row 7 to the top shelf, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. To the inside, the 146 of Jason Coffey. Row 6 to the outside, the 18 of Carter Forkenbrock. To the inside, the 75 of the Mayor, Steve Bixler. Row 5 to the outside, the 41 of the Librarian, Pat Boyce. To the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeffrey Barker. Row 4 to the outside, the 67 of Ty Dickinson. To the inside, the Salesman, the Preacher, the 20, Blake Chapman. Row 3 to the top shelf, the 79 of Dean Reynolds on the bottom of the cabinet, the 814 of Brad Waite. Row 2, the outside, the 23 of Bart William Watson. To the inside, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 1 for your Flatline Racing Bodies 360 Sprint Car feature at the Williams Grove Speedway. To the outside, the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. And starting on the pole, the 051 of Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson. Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off. The green flag is high. She's ready to fly. 25 laps to play in the Clay in Mechanicsburg, PA. Your Flatline Racing Bodies feature is underway. Gavin Chatham right away, hunting up top. That allows the Ant-Man to screech his way on up into P2. He's got a lift. He gets into the back of the 51. Here comes Gavin Chatham. The Dark Knight streaming out of the shadows. He leads lap 1. Gavin Chatham wasting no time here at the Williams Grove Speedway as the battle wages here behind. Ty Dickinson in the 67. The heartthrob, we may have to call him. I mean, everyone's calling him baby in the chat tonight. He is feeling it, baby. Look at that 67 to the inside. He is trying to work under Dean Reynolds here. Can Ty Dickinson roll that thing underneath Dino? Anthony Morano feeling some pressure here for P2. Or feeling some pressure, excuse me. Putt. Oh, what's he going to do? Singing a tune on the outside. But Blake Chapman and Ant-Man, they're singing a different song on the bottom. But we've got a different tune. Caution flag on the speedway here at Williams Grove. Let's see what happened. The wreck had already happened at this point. That's just when we get our caution. Wreck had already happened at this point, too. Come on, SDK. Let's see here. You can see Jason Coffey on the inside. You know, he just hits the brakes, going to run the bottom. Didn't do anything wrong. Boydell goes up top. You see Dickinson get a big run when Boydell slips up a little bit, and Dickinson gets him in the left rear. And he loops around. He blinked a little bit too, so there may have been a little bit of internet issues. May not have seen Boydell there. But he was. That brings out the caution flag, or should have. This is what actually brings out the caution. Greg tries to drive it in, won't turn. You see that left front was bound. It's just linkage arm or something must have been broke on the left front. Well, no response. Gonna nail that wall when you're driving there like that. Under caution. This allows Blake Chapman to maybe think about, hey, do I go to the top side now? I don't know how many double file restarts we're going to have. Well, you do know. We get to that third caution. We restart the single file. So if you're Blake, you maybe see this as a chance to get a free spot. Use that outside and play conservative. Can't tell you what he's going to do, but odds are in strategy, I'll probably disagree with it, and he's probably correct. So we'll see what he does. Me personally, I try to go for it. So Blake maybe does get aggressive and go for it here. Man, maybe not the best move for Blake. We'll see. You get ready to go back racing here. Gavin Chatham will get set to drop that hammer. See that light there coming out of 4. That's the go zone. He drops it. We're back ready to play blackjack. 21 to go. Gavin Chatham running that high side. Loving the grip upstairs. And Blake Chapman inside wall. Big wreck here at the Grove. Up and over, up and over. Oh, we're going to need the ambulance there to 3. Wild ride there for Blake Chapman. Started as we entered the corner. Let's see if we can maybe take a peek at that. My apologies. I have it set on the interview camera here after replays. That's why it keeps doing that. We'll change that for us. You can see Blake. Oh, so he gets a little bit of help there from behind. From Brad Waite. Hard into the inside wall. The 18 then caught up in it. But okay, so you go up top, you get a little bit different story. We're going to watch this full speed. No, we aren't. We didn't want. We're going to go back here. I wanted to watch this with Brad. That's just how quick it happens. I mean, didn't expect maybe Blake to lift, but he cleared him up top. That's within Blake's rights. I mean, it's just different. Wasn't ready for it. There's no way, Brad doing something like that intentionally. Just one of those stuff happens. Going over 100 at the end of a half, or, I would imagine, an 8-mile straightaway here. That's a half mile, a little more than an 1/8 mile of a straightaway. I don't know. Do the math. Someone out there. Just kind of the way of the road, man. Gavin Chatham set to bring the field back to the green flag. This should be the final double file restart. Green for that long here. Quick work. Let's go up top. Couldn't tell if he gets into the back of, I think that's Dickinson in the 67. Let's find this blimp camera. Slow it down. No, so, okay, now, obviously not his fault, but I'm really surprised that he didn't notice, under caution. So you can see what happened here. The left front's turning. That right front is not turning. No. Not even sure if I have a right front camera. No, I have it on the left front. My apologies here. Not going to get the wheels there either. Let's just go for a rear chase cam. Where's the last one I click? So you can see that right front, it's already kind of bent out. Thing never turns, man. It's just bouncing up and down a little bit, and that one really finished it off. But the sprint cars definitely feel tight under caution, unless you're really goosing it up. I'm kind of surprised he didn't notice that, but hey, you know, that happens. No, I mean, that was exactly what Blake Chapman needed. He had gotten to that toe right away, but still, you're not going to get out there to be right in line with the field. And now, with that quick caution, he is going to be on the tail end. And I'm probably saying, oh, you're freaking crazy, man. Blake's going to finish inside of the top 5 if nothing happens to him. I would think he's 19th. Oh, yeah, 19th, 19 to go. I mean, he could. He's not going to finish first because Gavin and Anthony, they're going to have some clear racetrack play as well. But Blake's going to get back up here and dance if he can keep that nose clean. Let's see what happens here as the green flag waves. We're back underway at the Williams Grove Speedway. 19 laps to play. See Gavin Chatham just absolutely murdering that top shelf through 1 and 2. He is so quick. Goes back to the basement here at the 3 and 4. But man, Gavin Chatham, he is something up there, man. This guy, you've got to watch out for him. You put a wing on that 99, and this thing turns into a rocket ship. This Ty Dickinson, he's got that 67 up into the top 3 here. Final step of the podium for Ty Dickinson. Worked his way around Clay Christopherson. Dean Reynolds now trying to get to the outside of his teammate. Oh, he does. Can he clear him easily? Dean Reynolds up the 4th. Clay Christopherson maybe dealing with a wounded animal here. Not liking that 051 right now. It's not like Clay to just pull over, kind of limp dog that thing. We'll have to see Dino to the outside through 1 and 2. Put the 79 on the final step of the podium as we enter 3. Ty Dickinson trying to fend off the Lion. That is the 79. But here, Dean roar. Oh, there's contact as the caution flag was coming out. Oh, we keep it straight. We keep it straight. But Mr. Wednesday Night has a date on pit road. Not too sure what happened here to the 055, and well, he wasn't the guy to blame. He just come down pit road because he didn't like the way maybe, had some damage on that race car. I think William Watson. So he just gets a little loose here, and the 41 doesn't check up in time. Not much you can do. I mean, he's got Terry behind him. You see Terry barely gets around. But that's enough. William goes around. Caution flag flies. Some other cars involved here, too. It got nasty. Ixler, I believe. Carter. Oh, that was Kelly Wheeler. That's who that was. 110. He did a couple. 720. As Gavin Chatham leads the way. What does he want to know? Blake Chapman. You know, he restarted 19th. I told you he had 19 laps. Well, we're going to have 13 laps to go. We get to green flag. Blake's up to 12th. So I warned you. Plenty of time for that kid to get up here and do some damage. We'll have to see what the Preacher Man's got. So we'll have 13 laps to go when we take the green flag. Lights are off on the Steve King Foundation pace car, and we should be back out in the sandbox here very shortly. As Gavin, it's going to take a lot to peel him off that high side for 1 and 2. He is so quick upstairs. Why? I mean, why would he give it up? It just doesn't make sense. The green flag is high, and there it goes. She's flying. Lucky number 13 on the clock. 13 laps to go. Anthony Morano, you can see, gets close on the exit of 2, but the 99 so quick. Full head of steam, man. Got that choo-choo rolling. And Gavin already half a second up the road here in 1 lap, just doing the damage. He has learned to roll these sprint cars. To use that power for all it's got, get to the top, and looky who in P5, Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Barker trying to work his way deep into that top 5. What can the 513 do? There's a little contact in front of him. Dickinson gets bumped, good sideways. Dino to the 3rd, Dickinson around. And, ooh, Dino. Dickinson with a little date through 3 and 4. I'm not sure Dickinson, you know, he must have missed the invitation. Let's see what happened here. Speed it up just a little. Aldino, he's on that bottom. Keeping the left side in the good. Keeping the left side in the good. He comes up just a little bit, and man, it's enough. And oh man. Can't really just put that on Dino. That's a big racing incident. And let's see. It would have been late, but could he see it at all? And I mean, at this point, you know, this is where where I kind of always say, you live to race another day. Now, this is tough, but Dickinson, you kind of see the writing on the wall here. You maybe burp out of it or try to go up half a lane. You just try to survive. Definitely not either one's fault. You can't blame Dickinson. You can't really blame Dino for that. Both guys trying to race hard. The laps are coming down to a close. That's a really tough break for Ty Dickinson there in the 67, because we know he had a quick race car. He was going to be probably finish inside that top 5. Now, you know, you write it off as a drop week. You get a couple of those. Not going to ruin the season. It's going to be tough. Tough sledding here in the beginning of the way as we're almost back ready to play. 9 laps to go at the Williams Grove Speedway as the green flag waves. Gavin right upstairs where he feels comfortable. Here comes Dino. Dino trying to reel in the Ant-Man, who now the Brewerton Beast finds himself in 4th. With the librarian, Pat Boyce, knocking on the top 5's door here. He's in 6th. Can he find a way around Putt in the 051? Got the librarian. Oh, he is up top. He is reading to the gang here. Look at him rolling. Clay with the preferred line, though, through 3 and 4. Lots of guys loving that grip coming down the front stretch. And that's where we see the Desert Demon even work by the 41. Just, I mean, you can power that thing down low going down the front stretches. We're under caution again Bob DeGood gets into the wall here. Not too sure what happened, how it kicked off. Let's see. So, GJ Boydell, let's find out. Somebody's coming down the racetrack in front of him. It's fine, Greg. My apologies. It doesn't. My leaderboard doesn't change with the replay, so it's changing as they're live here. That's going to be Brian Lawson in that 57 who just gets a little loose. So let's rewind that a little bit. Does he get in the back of Blake? Does it maybe start early? He does. Okay. So let's see here. He's just going to drive it in a little deep, get on the inside of Blake, and I'm going to make a little contact with that left rear. You can see he enters the corner late when you're on the bottom. I mean, Brian can do that, but it's not going to work. You got to kind of enter earlier, try to hit that tack patch on the bottom. He just rotates the car a little late. Little contact with Blake, sets the car sideways in there. I mean, you're just not ready to get on the binders. GJ Boydell. Bixler tries to work underneath. They make a little bit of contact. That looked like netcode. I mean, Boydell's already heading up the racetrack. Bixler comes down. He gets into the good. Oh, they're back and ready. I don't know how they must have finally learned to advance this thing, or maybe I was that slow on the replay. This is the first lap here on the restart. 5 laps to go. This time by as Gavin Chatham leads the way. Dean Reynolds trying to hold on to that third and final podium spot, but Jeff Barker trying to work his magic here in the 5:13 as we've got an FTM 1, 2, 3, and Gavin Chatham, man, he is gone out front. This guy shot out of a cannon. Where is Blake? He's up to 7th. Let's see, can he get into the top 5? Will he make me a liar? I told you he'd get into the top 5 right there. He needs those 2 guys. Almost gets into the back of Terry Landis. As Gavin Chatham comes across the stripe here, 3 laps to go. Oh, Blake Chapman and Terry Landis, a little contact. Terry able to keep it straight. Not sure if there's any damage on that right front. Looks to be okay for now. Blake Chapman trying to soldier his way on up. Oh, that's why we ran out of time. Checkered flag waves. And that's what it was. 0 minutes to go. You can see that. So Gavin Chatham wins. Anthony Morano, Dean Reynolds 3rd, Jeff Barker 4th, and Clay Christopherson rounds out the top 5. Blake couldn't get there. Literally ran out of time. But, yeah, we're going to have to extend these feature times a little bit, definitely this season, as going to big track. But, hey, this is week 1. You live and you learn. And we'll see here if we can't get a word with the driver. The 79, Mr. Dean Reynolds himself. We'll gonna take them a little bit, I would imagine. And no, Dino, actually, he's already there. He's not wasting any time. Let's pull him up. Hey, Dino, long time no speak, brother. Third, not a bad kickoff to the year, brother. How we feeling?
No, we'll take it. I do have to look at the replay there. I don't think I drifted up in the tie, and I want to take a look at that, but my apologies if I did. And, we were both fighting for the bottom there, and I, see you spun around, and, if I did, I'm so sorry on that. And Ty said, don't take any OL. He goes, I was in your way anyways, but, it's not the deal. So I apologize to him. He had a good race going, but, yeah, 3rd place. We'll take it with Hometown Heroes. I mean, you got to take advantage with the Blake Chapman not getting some points here, and because he's the hometown hero king, and even with the 358s, he's going to be a guy to reckon with there. So I know there's drops, but I'm going to be missing a few hometown heroes because of my outdoor stuff, but I got to take advantage of these top threes. But I had nothing for Gavin and Anthony. I think I was the third place car, but you know what? When Shaggy, if you know you finished second behind Gavin and Anthony, I think you're doing okay.
No, and dude, how awesome is it? I mean, another race with a big car count. The only reason I start with that is because it seemed like you were making so much money up top on the high side, ripping it down early. But towards the end, man, with this big car count, that top side through 3 and 4, it just seemed like it was brutal. That you had no traction going down the front stretch. Did it feel like that for you guys?
Yeah, you have to hit it just right. I'm not good enough. The pros can do it even when it's that thin, because what they'll do is they'll keep the right rear in that little bit of fluff that's outside turn four. I do it, I hit the wall. So I did
We do
try
it.
one. Yes, most of us. I mean, there was one lap actually. I think I got around Ty doing it that way, and then the yellow came out and he got the spot back. But it was just that one lap I hit perfect. Now I'm going to hit one lap perfect at a 25, so the odds are against me. So I felt okay down low, so I went down low there and then went back up top in 1 and 2. But Jeff is doing some things with the track state, and he started these two races with 15% track state, but he thinks he wants to go back to zero to just give a little bit more bite, so guys don't have to feather it and be a little, they have not much experience, so at least we'll bring it back to them. So we're going to fool around a little bit with that, and but hey, 22 cars in both divisions, can't beat that.
No, and maybe Jeff wants to do that to give those other guys a chance, because I don't know if you heard that dog barking, man, but he was right behind you tonight. How much fun was it racing with Barker? I mean, he kept taking peeks but just couldn't get there.
Oh, dude, Monday night in the matinee, he kicked the shit out of me. I mean, he won it, and I had nothing for him. I mean, nothing. And I had a good set and everything else, and I'm like, what the heck? And then during Renegades, he finished right behind me, and then he was right behind me on this. It's good to see Jeff. Jeff puts so much time into this for the league. You know how much he does, and he doesn't get a lot of thanks. And if it was for him, there wouldn't be a Coast to Coast. And I'm happy to take the admin away from him for a couple of races so he can just sit back and enjoy himself and go racing. And you can see what happens when you don't have to worry about other stuff.
Yeah, definitely, man. He can go out there and enjoy himself for a season. Dino, that's awesome of you to do that. I know you said you'll be busy sometimes this week, but I know your FTM boys, they'll help pick up that admin slack. You guys do an awesome job, man. You support the league and you hog all the podiums, man. 1, 2, 3 again. Hell of a job for the gang. Who you want to thank, man?
Well, I'm going to thank Flatline Racing Body, Shaggy TV, and hi, Megan. I forgot the first time, and boy, I got a text. That's it. I'm done. Peace out. Go talk to Anthony and Gavin. Congrats to them.
Great run, Dino. Can't wait to talk to you again, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Dean Reynolds, Hog in third place tonight, taking both. And now,
quick time!
Moment of silence for the quick time here as Anthony Morano. Not the spot you maybe wanted, but man, I know it's tough. And at least I guess maybe it makes it a little easier when it's your teammate, because, man, you were quick. But, dude, Gavin was that much quicker tonight. Anything else you could have done?
Threw a crappy slider and took him out on one of those restarts. Maybe. Other than that, out of prayer. He's just really really good in these things. He's taught me a lot with these, and yeah, I still got a long way to learn, I guess, because I just watched him walk away every restart, which sucked. But you know what? It was still fun learning, and you know. Eventually I'll figure something out with these when it gets real slick like that. I tried to move my wing a little bit and didn't really help much. Just real slick out there on the bottom, which it makes it more fun. But yeah, I gotta figure out how to run the top better or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and this isn't, I'm not hammering you to the cross here, Anthony, because you were clearly P2, and I've been this guy before, but man, what does go through your head when, I mean, you got no pressure from behind. It's all you, and it's just, man, no matter what I do, I can't get this guy. Is it nice having that carrot, helping you learn, or does it get frustrating, trailing that for 20 laps?
I mean, the most important thing is learning, and we all teach each other different things. I'm better with the modifieds and late models, and he's a sprint car whiz. So we'll figure something out. But it gets a little frustrating, but You were there on the mic one night when I actually caught him in a 360 race, and then I went over the edge. So yeah, I know it's possible to beat him. I just got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, and you make me look like a genius there, Anthony, because I said that he's kind of your team sprint car guru, where you and Clay trying to teach him the ways of the 358 and the big block. He's still got some ways to go, but man, he's got this thing figured out. But so does the FTM gang, man. You come into Hometown Heroes, you sweep both podiums week one. I know that's got to feel good, man. A win and a P2. Congrats on the good night, man. Who you want to thank?
Like, I think my wife Sherry, the boys at FTM, Super Dare Car, Swan Speed Shop, High Mom Lens, DJ Sim Shop, Rocky Photography, Vertex Graphics, Expert Installation, Shaggy, you for sponsoring the team here and doing a broadcast and everything you do for the league, and everyone behind the scenes, Dino for adminning and everybody.
Hey, hell of a run, Anthony. Can't wait to watch you go at it the rest of the year, man. If Gavin shows up, you, him, and Blake, you guys are going to have some fireworks shows. It's going to be fun to watch. Great run tonight.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Anthony Morano, we'll drag him down. There we go. He's going to bring home P2. And now, okay, I paused there, Gavin. I thought you had one of those sounds there, too. That's why I paused. I forgot, so I needed to be quiet there. But, man, I'll tell you what, Williams Grove, not typical racetrack. And it seemed like tonight it kind of went the way of you didn't do the 358 race, but where if you could really master it, man, you wanted that bottom in 3 and 4 and that top in 1 and 2. And, dude, you were gone. I mean, how did this car feel tonight?
The car felt really good. Obviously they've made some changes to the iRacing setup, so the car felt a little bit different tonight. But um, it just as soon as from hot laps to qualifying and then in the heat race, the car just took off each time we were on the racetrack. And the car felt really 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 good. Um, and just and it's funny because I thought the top was going to go. The top had a ton of grip, but it was so far up, pushed up to the wall that usually that's when the bottom in 1 and 2 really comes in at Williams Grove, and I really like running the bottom here in Williams Grove, and I thought for sure in that one restart I went down there and I didn't really have speed, and I tried getting off the corner, and it just spun the tires, which was really uncharacteristic for this racetrack. So I just ended up going back to the top and just kept hitting 1 and 2, and I just felt like it was such a far way around, but there's so much grip up there. It would just launch the car down the straightaways and just keep that momentum going into 3 and 4. And I may have tried the top in 3 and 4 on that cool down lap just to see if it was gripped up, and it felt pretty good. I was just so afraid it was so thin, and I was afraid to screw up my race, and I felt the bottom was a safer way to go. But there's a lot of speed down there as well. But the car felt great. I mean, you got to put yourself in position to win these races. And it all starts with qualifying, and then the heat. You're doing well in the heat races, and then starting up front in the feature because there's a lot of good guys in this field to battle with. Clay, Anthony, Dean, Blake Chapman. Those guys are always fast, and it's tough to beat them. So you got to definitely put yourself in position if you want to go out here and win.
Yeah, man. And, that being said, you're the guy Anthony kind of verified. I think you'd be the first person to admit you kind of join a big block team where, maybe you struggle a little bit, but you're the sprint car guy. You bring the knowledge. You're one of the best I've seen, man. You and Blake, the shows you put on, absolutely phenomenal. But are you an open book during the race? Are they asking you a lot of questions, or is it kind of maybe an under caution thing, or is it just maybe a practice warm up thing? I mean, how much do they pick at that brain during the race?
Usually during the race, not nearly as much, or unless maybe I find something or somebody else finds something, we'll share some information. Or the thing with the sprint cars, and it's huge, is just with the wing as well, and how people feel with it. I typically keep the wing all the way forward, and some guys like to go back one or two clicks on the wing. So and I tell everybody that. I mean, and ultimately at the end of the day, it all comes down to driving style, but. Just getting a feel for what they like. But yeah, usually to race, everyone's super focused, and there's not too much chatter going on. Um, but occasionally we'll share some information, but mainly hot laps or even where possibly where I think or where we think the racetrack's going to go or where it's going to end up, or and historically. Um, where the racetrack does end up. But tonight was just a different. This one threw a different one at the notebook for sure. Because I don't remember at Williams Grove ever being the top pushed up that far, and the bottom of 1 and 2 being basically obsolete. Like it just didn't work. But that's the stuff too. You got to get laps and you got to learn stuff. And even on my side with the modifieds and late models, I need laps. I need to learn things. The same guy with the thing with those guys, they help me with that stuff, and I help them with the sprint car stuff, and ultimately laps and getting there and having somebody. I'm no pro by any means, but I try to help as much as I can and point people at least in the right direction to have some speed and be competitive.
No, man, that's why I love you, and that's why I like asking you questions like that, because I wasn't going to interrupt you, but Dad, if you listen to that, I told you the good guys, they do not mess with that wing. I've heard you preach it to me many times, Gavin. It is all about that right foot, man. Playing nice, keeping the car straight, and dude, you're one of the best at it. You won. You probably would have won this thing by 4 or 5 seconds if it wasn't time shortened, but because it was, I think you had to hold off with a 4-second win. But that's gonna do, man. Congratulations, a 1-2-3 for the team. Who you want to thank, brother?
First off, I just want to take a moment. 10 years ago today, my mom passed away from ovarian cancer, and I just want to dedicate this one to her. This one's for her, and I know she's looking after us every day, and it's really awesome to pick up a win tonight, and especially in Williams Grove. It's not my home track, but it's a home state track, so it feels really awesome to be in victory lane tonight. And obviously, Shaggy, I just want to thank you for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. I want to thank. Coast to Coast Racing, all the sponsors, all the admin, everybody involved in this league allows us to come out here and race and put on a good show for everybody. I just want to thank FTM, Full Throttle Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Swan Speed Shop, Super Dirt Car Series, Chatham Motorsports. Thank all the sponsors, all the help, and all the support we get on the car. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching these races, and I really hope we put on a good show each and every night for y'all, and tonight as well. And I just want to thank my fans as well for taking the time to watch the races and supporting me.
Well, hey, man, hopefully your biggest fan's up there watching you. Glad you could pick up a win. And, man, it's I imagine how tough that is. But, Gavin, congrats on the big win, brother. And, man, this ain't going to be the last time I'm talking to you this season. Good run tonight.
All right, thanks, Shaggy. You have a great night.
That's Gavin Chatham bringing home the win here to kick off your Flatline Racing Bodies 360 sprint car summer season. I warned you, keep an eye out on this 99. When he shows, he finishes towards the top of that list. We're going to step away here for the night. No more midgets being broadcasted this season, so you know what that means. Shaggy gets to go race those puppies. So I need to throw up this video, get my butt in the car. You guys have a good night, and we'll be back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network tomorrow night with your big blocks and your 358s. I believe the Pro Late models as well, all sponsored by Adam Flieger at Flieger Farm TV. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss the show. I'm Zach Chapman, a.k.a. Shaggy. Good night.